Well, I guess I'll have to do it this way. All right. Sorry about that. I was trying to All right, I'm back. The name of the title of this video is called How to Have Sex with Foreign Women. Now, this is not a movie. This is a YouTube video. This is my second time trying to record this. I had to tell the dog on the side of the house to shut up because the dog be barking for no apparent reason. You know, ain't nobody coming to the house, ain't nobody cutting the grass, ain't nobody putting no mail in the mailbox. And, you know, the dog be on that trip juice. The dog be on trip mode. You know, you guys got dogs at home, and when you be trying to do your homework or talk to someone on the phone, the dog be barking. And sometimes you got to tell the dog to shut up because the dog be tripping. Anyway, I'm going to be giving you the secrets, not necessarily the secrets. Hold on, let me make sure this is on and recording. All right, we good. We okay. Sometimes I got to make it record 2 times. I know you guys hate that. You record the first time and you get off to a good start, and then all of a sudden it cuts off on you 5 or 10 minutes later. Here, it's on. And every now and then I might have to get up and check the time to make sure it's between 15 to 20 minutes. Now, let's get on to the video, shall we? Basically, in order for you to get foreign women without having to be like the people that are rich and famous, it ain't a secret. It's common sense. It's something that the pickup artists and the dating coaches do not want to tell you. One of the most popular languages in all of the world to get foreign women's attention is Spanish. Yes, you heard me, Spanish. It is the most popular language on the planet Earth as of right now. Roletta Stone, I think I'm saying the name correct. Someone in the comment section, please correct me because I know I'm not saying it correct. But it's a computer software system that has the voice of a woman. And she speaks over 100 languages. And basically, Roletta Stone basically tells you how to repeat and recite those words back to her. And about 6 months to a year, maybe even 2 years later, you'll know how to speak Spanish just like that. You'll be able to speak fluent Spanish bilingual. There we go. That's what I really want to say. And you will be able to pick up about 60 to like 80% of Spanish women by speaking Spanish. Anytime you see a woman start blushing in the face and she start going, oh my God, he speaks Spanish. Oh my God, he's black and he speaks Spanish. Or oh my God, he's a white boy and he speaks Spanish. They find that physically, sexually attractive 99.99% of the time if you speak Spanish. If you ask what is the most hardest language to master and learn, Spanish is always number 1. If you take a math class or an English class, what do you think you're going to see in a Spanish class? Spanish women. If you take math or English, what you think you're going to see? Spanish women. Now, you don't have to get a passport and fly 15 to 20,000 miles to the Spanish country to learn Spanish. You got hundreds, and I mean literally hundreds of women here in America that speak Spanish. And if you ask someone to teach you how to speak Spanish, a lot of times a woman will ask you, why should I teach you Spanish? And usually if you say, because I want to get beautiful, attractive Spanish women, that might be used against you. But Roletta Stone is one way to learn how to speak Spanish. A second way to learn how to speak Spanish is going on here on YouTube and typing up how to speak Spanish. And usually that will be the best way to learn how to speak a language. Because sometimes when you ask people to teach you to speak languages, a lot of times they want some money for their time. You know, you compensate my time, I want some money. And usually they can charge $100, $150. So sometimes you need to go find other ways to learn how to speak Spanish. But Spanish is number 1. That's how you get women that are Spanish, and that's how you ask them out to lunch and dinner, and that's how you take them out, and then that's how you score. And then these be women that be 7s, 8s, not necessarily 9s and 10s, but they be better than what you normally would get. as far as sexual attraction is concerned. Hold on. Okay, got to make sure the camera's on. Sorry about that, people. I apologize. Anyway, Spanish is number one. You'll get white women that will find you physically, sexually attractive because you can speak Spanish. But if you're trying to date foreign women, then you gotta learn how to speak their language. It ain't just you gotta adapt their culture. You gotta learn how to speak their language and understand what their language means and what it represents. Going to the library is also another great source on how to speak multiple languages. That way you don't have to spend $100, $150, or $200 to have someone teach you how to speak their language. Going to the library saves more money and more time. Just something you might want to take a look at into. Now let's get into number two. Number two is going to be Japanese. Why Japanese at number two? If you're into Japanese women, you might want to learn how to speak Japanese. It's the second hardest language to learn. It's Japanese. A lot of people have a hard time pronouncing it. A lot of people get Japanese confused with Chinese. So as a bonus, number two and number three, number two is Japanese, number three is Chinese. If you learn any one of these two languages, you're going to get 60 to 80% of women's invited attention just like that. You'll get the phone number, you'll get the email address, and you'll be able to ask them out to lunch and dinner. A lot of times they can speak very good English, depending on if she was born here in the United States. If not, if you learn how to speak her language, you'll be good. And then the reason why I say it'd be good to learn how to speak Japanese and Chinese, not at the same time, but maybe Japanese the first 6 months and then Chinese the second 6 months. Because if you do, let's say you go to a nightclub, right? Let's say it's a Friday night or a Saturday night. And let's say you come into the club either with a group of 4 guys or by yourself. Well, guess what? You see a beautiful, attractive Japanese girl or Chinese girl, and she don't speak no English. And you say hi to her, but she doesn't understand what you're saying to her in English because she can't speak English. So you are now forced to learn how to speak her language because it basically it gives you a limitation on you getting the phone number, because if you can't speak her language and she don't speak English, then how are you two are going to be able to communicate? So that's why I say number one is Spanish, number two is Japanese, number three is Chinese. Now let's get to number four. Number four is French. Now, a personal friend of mine that I play basketball with, he told me French is useless, which he's absolutely wrong in this case. French is also the fourth most popular and most famous language on the planet Earth. You go to France, and if you can say French fry in English, you can say French fry in France. You can get beautiful, attractive women in France that speak French. That will also help you. So that's 4 different languages that will be a big help to you. Number 5 would probably be, hold on, dog in here tripping out again. All right, people, sorry about that. We got 2 dogs, the other one under the house. But like I was saying, French is number 4 of the 4th language you must learn. Number 5 is Brazilian. If you learn how to speak Brazilian, imagine how many phone numbers you would get if you can just speak Brazilian. I mean, I'm serious. You'll get laid 10 times over if you can speak Brazilian. Number 5 on this list. Let's see. Yeah, that was number 5. Brazilian is number 5. Number 6, speaking Arab. Now, I know when I say speaking Arab, some people are like, I hope you don't mean the Taliban. No, I'm not talking about terrorists. I'm talking about speaking Arab. The reason why you would speak that is because a lot of men complain on YouTube that when they see women from the Middle East, when they see women from India and Indonesia, they can't speak Arab. Because when they say, how do you speak Indian or how do you speak from India, they look at you like, why are you disrespecting the country I come from? So you would probably say, how do you speak Arab? Because Arab is like a universal language. And trust me, if you see a bunch of Middle Easterns come to America and they can speak both languages, English and their native language, then if you find them physically, sexually attractive, you need to learn how to do what? Speak their language. Coming in at number 7 is Egyptian. If you want to get them Egyptian girls, gotta learn how to speak Egyptian. That goes a long way towards understanding it. Now, coming in at number 8 is German. Now, if you like them German women, you got to learn how to speak German. Though, those German women will give you their phone number and their email just like that if you can speak their language to them. If you can speak math and English and history and science and German, you're getting laid 10 times over because you're doing something that the average man doesn't do. Take a look at James Bond for an example. When you watch James Bond movies, you notice James Bond knows like about 15, 20 different languages, right? That's because in the James Bond movie universe, one of James Bond's jobs, or should I say superpowers, is to speak as many languages as humanly possible. And speaking German is a big help. You get things done faster if you can speak German. Coming in at number 8 or number 9 is Russian. Yes, if you can speak Russian, you can get them Russian women with no problems. That's a language right there that's also hard to learn. But if you get a book and you spend almost 2 years learning how to speak Russian, you'll be getting phone numbers and emails like there's no tomorrow, just like that. See, you don't want to end up like some of these average men that's from the hood, whether it's Los Angeles, New York City, or Chicago, and they see these foreign women and they don't know how to speak their languages. I mean, that's how you learn how to have sex with women from foreign countries. And then if you want to learn Spanish, once you've spent 2 or 3 years learning Spanish, you will go to a Spanish country like Spain, and then you will speak Spanish to a Spanish woman. And the minute she first meets you, she'll be shocked that you're a black man and you can speak Spanish. Now you get laid just because you can speak Spanish. Now you still got to be an alpha male, so don't get me wrong. You still got to be an alpha male. You still have to insert dominance, and you still have to be a man. So I'm giving you common sense. It's not secrets, it's common sense. It's something that pickup artists and dating coaches do talk about in their books and their videos and DVDs, but they charge you $500 to almost $1,000 just to learn that you got to speak different languages. This is how you become unpredictable to a lot of women, and then American women that you don't want no more, they'll come after you just because you can speak different languages. Another language that a lot of people don't take a look at, and that's, I think it's Caribbean. I think if you speak Caribbean, you might be able to get some female attention. I'll have to double check on that. But those are the languages that you need if you want to have sex or ask foreign women out to lunch and dinner. Now, let's explain the differences between foreign women and American women. I'm going to do it here again in this video for those who might have not saw the movie or don't know that the movie's on YouTube. Let me put here again in this video. The difference between foreign women and American women is that foreign women have more respect and more class for men. They are not going to try to fight and argue and challenge you on every decision. Unless it's a stupid, dumb decision, then they're going to fight you on it. Another good language to learn if you want to date foreign women is Colombian. So if you go to Colombia, you better learn how to speak the language because the women out there is beautiful. And then there's the Dominican Republic, and that is a language in itself. So basically, that's like a total 11 languages right there that you could use to get foreign women. And then there's Spanish countries that you can go to speak Spanish. There's Costa Rica. Then there's Puerto Rico. Now, Puerto Rico is completely different from speaking Spanish, but it's in the same category. So that's me giving you a huge helping hand and an advantage when it comes to these languages. Now, foreign women are not afraid to be fun and adventurous. They like reading books. They like going to the park. They like going to the museum. And they like to experiment while having sex. Like if you say I want to have a threesome, a woman from Brazil, she's down for having a threesome. She's down for having a foursome. And she also understands the concept of being a woman in public and being a super freak in private. She understands that very well. Now, you still might get foreign women that might smoke, that might drink, so don't be shocked or surprised that you talk to a woman from Brazil and she still smokes and drinks like an American woman. So don't be surprised or shocked by that. Now, the food out there, you got to understand that the food out there is different from what we eat here in America. Now, they do exercise regularly and religiously. They eat their fruits and vegetables and they drink a lot of water. Now, here in America, we have some American women that also exercise religiously, but you'll find out that there's a bigger percentage when it comes to foreign women than it does with American women, you know. And I know black men gonna love this part, that when you see foreign women, their natural hair is 100% real and authentic. It ain't fake. There ain't no weaves in their hair. So you ain't got to worry about their hair. It's all 100% natural. No weave in their hair, no makeup on their face. Now, you still might get tattoos and body piercings, so don't get too happy. Don't get too excited. But you have better choices. You have better options. Now, the reason why I made this video is for men who like foreign women. So this is what you got to do if you want foreign women. You got to understand the culture. You got to speak the language. You also have to understand that the languages that I list from number 1 to 11 are the best ones to use to your advantage. Any one of them will get you 60 to 80% attention just like that. And on your best day, probably 85 to 90%. Now, you ain't got to be rich and famous to learn how to speak these languages. You got Rosetta Stone, you got the internet, you got the library. You actually have 3 different sources that can teach you how to speak Spanish. And if you go to college, you actually got 4 different sources that can help you how to speak Spanish. You go to a job that requires you to speak Spanish, you'll get so many phone numbers, you won't even know what to do with them. And then American women will get jealous and insecure because you're attracting foreign women and you're not even rich and famous. See, a lot of these pickup artists and these dating coaches, they want you to think that you got to be rich and famous or you got to be a pickup artist just to pull all women. You ain't got to go to a pickup artist or a dating coach and waste $500 to $1,000, in some worst cases $5,000, in some worst cases, just because you want to know how this stuff works. It's all common sense. It's not secrets. It's not special training. It's just common sense. You got 4 reliable sources. Now that I have explained to you how to have sex or how to ask a foreign woman out to lunch and dinner, then the sex pops off. Then the sex comes. Now, you still got to be an alpha male. You still got to be a man. Now, you still got to have a house. You still have to have a car. You still have to have a job. And you still have to make money. So don't be thinking that because I told you you got to speak 11 different languages that you're just going to get it that easy. You still got to put in the hard work and the dedication. You still got to do that. You still got to be a man. You still got to get up 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and you got to put in blood, sweat, and tears, okay? If you want to get Middle Eastern women, if you want to get Muslim women, this is number 12. You got to learn how to speak Muslim. So if you like those Muslim women, you got to learn how to speak their language and adopt their practice. Now, you may not like their practice, but if you want to get you a Muslim woman, then you better learn how to speak the language. So when I rename this title, How to Have Sex and Ask Out Women, Foreign Women Out to on a Date, I'm telling you what you need to do. Now, you ain't got to fly to their country to learn how to speak their languages. You have the library. If you go to college, you have 2 libraries. You have Rosetta Stone. You have the internet. You have 4 different sources to help you speak those languages. And then if you got a teacher that speaks Spanish, you can ask the teacher, what class do you recommend that I speak Spanish? They have Spanish classes. They have Japanese, Chinese classes. They have classes that speaks Russian, that speaks German. So you have no excuses in this regard. So this is for the guys that like foreign women and foreign women only. That's what this video was for. So when I rename the title, it's going to be called Having Sex with Foreign Women and Ask Out on a Date. And this is how you basically do it. You see the same rule that I put in my video on Hot College Teacher. It's the same thing that goes for this. If you take math, English, history, science, PE, and business administration, you're going to see a lot of foreign women take those classes in college. If you go to a training program, you're going to see a lot of women from foreign countries. If you take computer science, you're going to see women from foreign countries taking those classes. Now, you could ask some women that are from Ireland and from Scotland, how do you speak Scottish? How do you speak Ireland? So I put that in there as a bonus. So that way, don't nobody go in the comment section and say, you forgot about Scotland. You forgot about Ireland. Yeah, you can speak Scotland, you can speak Ireland if you can run into a Scottish woman. You can speak Scottish. So when you go to Scotland, you know how to speak that language. If you like Irish women, then you got to learn how to speak the language. So you're getting all this information from me for free because I'm not like the pickup artists and the dating coaches that charge $500 to $1,000 to make a living off of you. You know, don't worry. I mean, there are going to be some future YouTube videos where I will charge some money, but that only depends on what I want to make the subject about. So I hope this was a big help to you, and look out for the sequel to the video that I'm going to make, how to pick up and game a girl in the library without depending on pickup artists and dating coaches. How to tell that the librarian is an undercover freak. All right, bye.